In this video, I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to restrict access for a page on SharePoint. I'm going to start off by showing you how to create a page within SharePoint and then going to be explaining to you the basics of what SharePoint permissions are so that you'll understand basically the different layers of how to access SharePoint so you can restrict that page. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to use audience targeting to not only restrict access, but also control who can see links within navigation systems based on security groups. My name's Dougie Wood, and I'm a Microsoft MVP. I've been helping businesses all over the world deploy SharePoint intranet solutions, and if you need any professional help, there's a link in the description below to contact me. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is go and create a new page. Now, I'm on the home page of an intranet site at the moment, and we're going to simulate as you're going to be creating a brand new page. But you can see this is just a typical kind of home page that we deploy for a lot of our customers. It's something that is actually templated, so we can easily redeploy that to a customer for a fixed price. Now, to create a new page, there's a couple of ways we can do it, but the simplest way is just to click on the new button across the top and then go and click on page. Now, you'll see there's loads of different page templates, and this doesn't actually impact at all how we're going to restrict its access. So you could go and have a little look at some of these different templated pages if you wanted to. There's loads of cool, funky designs in here now. So go and have a little look at some of those as well in your own time. But I'm actually just going to create a blank page because it really doesn't matter what it looks like that I'm going to be restricting the access. It's just literally going to be a test page. So I'm going to create my page, and then I'm going to call this, let's say something like Manager's Toolkit. And then I'll put just restricted as a sort of large thing here. Now, it's quite common to have an area for managers to have restricted information that's just for line managers. Information on things like how to deal with maybe some HR issues and general advice for recruitment and interviews and things like that, which typically only line managers need to know about. So I'm just going to put in a bit of blank text in here. Fill out the page. Just so we've got a little bit of a page going on now. So as I say, it doesn't really matter about the content in this. We're only interested in actually restricting the access in this video. We've got plenty of other videos about how to do nice, pretty SharePoint designs. Now I'm just going to publish this page. Now, the next thing is you need to understand the basics of SharePoint permissions. Now, I do have a deep dive video on my channel, which is called, I think, something like Demystifying SharePoint Permissions. But actually, I'm just going to explain at a high level the permissions, just so you kind of understand how we're going to restrict this. So the first thing you need to understand is that there's what they call site permissions. Now, site permissions can be accessed from the cog across the top, and then click on site permissions. Now, you need to understand the site level permissions because there's multiple layers until we get down to the page layer. So the first layer is the site layer. So if you imagine the site layer, this is the very top. This is the bank intranet site itself. You see we've got multiple security groups here, or basically permission groups. So you've got full control, so these are people who've got full access to the site, they can do everything. You've got site members who've got limited control, so they can edit, but they can't necessarily have the full control of the site owners. And then you've got site visitors who have no control, or better named read-only access. Now, it's worth noting that what happens is anyone who's added at the site level will be added to the next layer down, which is what we call the library level. Now, actually, this page here, this site page, this Manager Toolkit page, lives in a library called Site Pages. So you can see all the libraries on site page. Click on the cog, click on Site Contents, and this will take you to all of the libraries on the SharePoint site. So this is where we can see all the different libraries. Now you have, by default, you will have a documents library, a form templates library, site assets library, a style library, and site pages library. Now you might see more libraries in here. Quite often, some people might go in and create brand new document libraries, for example, to store them in here. Now the reason why I mention this is because once you're added into the site permissions, the site permissions automatically flow into all of the libraries, including the site pages library. So if you've got access to the site, by default, you have access to the site pages library. So you click through to the site pages, and then you can see these are all the different pages. Obviously, I've got loads of different tests and examples and things like that in here, but here we've got this manager's toolkit, which is the page. Now, the permissions flow from the site into the library, and then in the library into the items. Now, if this was a document library, these would be documents, but it's a site pages library. So these are pages. So these pages inherit the same permissions as the library, and the library inherits the permissions from the site. So if you've been given access to say only have read access at the site layer, you'll only have read access to the pages because it's inherited through the library. Now, to restrict the access to the actual page, we need to select the actual item itself, click on details, and then you see here it says has access. Now when you click on that, what it will do is it'll open up this panel here which shows you basically who currently has access to this. And did you notice it's got exactly the same as the site permissions, because as I say, at the moment it's inheriting from the library, which is inherited from the site. Now what we can do is, say for example, if we want to restrict the access to this, I can click on stop sharing, like so, and it removes everybody other than the owners of the site. So by default, obviously the owner of the site would still have access to it, which would only be, say, the main content owners, so they don't get locked out of things. However, it's now removed all the other groups, the members, the read-only people. Now I can add in people by clicking on the start sharing, and I could type in someone's name. So let's say, for example, I can type in Chris, and then I could put a message in here and say, hey, you have access to the manager's toolkit. Then click on send. That's an added Chris into the restricted access for this page. So if I go back now to here, you'll be able to see the people who have access to this is Chris, and the groups is the SharePoint group of the owners. Now, I can also, if I wanted to, I could share this to an actual security group. Now, this is very common. You might have security groups for all sorts of different things. You might have a security group for example, your line managers already inside of Active Directory, which is now called Entra, and you can bring this in. So if you click on share, you could type in test security group. So I've got test security group already. Again, I can give a little message if I wanted to, and then click on send. And then again, it's added in my group. So I can now go into here and I can now see there's two groups. I've got my security group in here and the default owners group from SharePoint as well. So that's now restricted the access down. So let's say, for example, I was to go onto the SharePoint site now and I was logged in with a different account, say Joe Blogs, I wouldn't have access to this page. It just wouldn't show up for me. Now, this presents a little bit of a problem because let's say, for example, let's go back to this page. If I wanted this page, for example, to be on the very top bar, if I was just to place a link across the top bar and I've changed the permissions, the problem is, say for example, if I was Joe Blogs and I didn't have access to it, I would still see that, but I click it, I would get a kind of message say, sorry, you don't have access to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to promote this page. I'm going to add it to the top navigation bar. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called audience targeting to hide this link. Now, some people don't want to actually physically restrict the access to the physical page. They just want to audience target, which is totally fine. Sometimes there's scenarios where there might be pages where you're not too bothered if someone did find it. You just want to control the kind of user experience of the navigation bar and showing and hiding them dependent on specific groups of users. And that's fine. You're going to do exactly the same method. But in this case, we've restricted the access to the page, but I'm also going to restrict access to the navigation link. I should also mention there's multiple web parts as well on internet home pages that you can also quick link. So you can audience target. So you can use audience targeting in news. You can use them instead of quick links web parts. There's loads of places that you could use them. Now to enable it for the site navigation, we're going to click on the edit button. I'm going to scroll right down to the very bottom and you'll see that there's a toggle here that said enable site navigation audience targeting. We need to click on OK, click on save. And then sometimes it's actually even worth just refreshing the page just to make sure that that setting has taken effect. Then we're going to click on edit, go back down to our link down here. Now when we click on edit, you'll notice we have this box that I should have shown you before, but this box didn't exist before. We've now got audiences to target. This is where we can type in, again, I'm going to use the same test group, but I could use a totally different security group if I wanted to. And then click on OK, then click on save. Now, when I refresh this, you can see it's disappeared. And that's because I'm not part of the security group to see this. So although when I go into edit mode, I can see, because I have edit mode to the actual page, I'm not in that security group. So it's hidden it from the view. It's audience targeted it. This is not the same, as I said before, as restricting based on permissions. We're purely just showing and hiding it on the top bar, just to make it as easy as possible, as I say, to control the user experience. If you enjoyed that video, then please subscribe to my channel. There's also another video on screen right now which will be all about how to deep dive into SharePoint permissions to give you even more access and control over SharePoint using the permission structure. I'll see you there.